Hey guys, welcome back. The title of this video is going to be Use Time as a Guide for Life Fulfillment. Use time as a guide. What do I mean by that? Well, ask yourself this question. How do you feel about time when it comes to maybe a job that you don't like, right? How do you feel about time? You typically want the time to pass. You want it to pass by quickly when you don't like your job, okay? What about the flip side, right? When you do enjoy your job and you focus on and you feel fulfilled, you feel like you don't have enough time to get the job done because you're enjoying it, right? That's what I'm talking about, is using time and the feeling about time as a reference or a guide to understanding if what you're doing is fulfilling or not, okay? Now we can talk about this in two ways. We can talk about it from a career standpoint or a job standpoint and or, your friends and family, right? There's two different parts here. We live two different lives sometimes. We work and we play, right? So when we work, if you're working a job that isn't very fulfilling to you, you're probably going to want the time to pass by quickly. You're going to be checking your watch every 5 minutes, waiting for the next break and waiting for that clock to end, right? And that's a sad thing. I don't really want that for anyone out there, right? And different jobs are going to have different perspectives for everyone. Like one job to one person may not be very fulfilling, but that same job to another person, it might take the cake for them, right? Let's take, for example, when I was 16, I was a cashier. Now, I was young, everything had to be fun and enjoyable, right? But when you're working, it wasn't very fulfilling being a cashier. I didn't really care to work with, the public coming through my lane. But to another person, that might be super fulfilling, right? And they may not even look at the clock. They just come in, they enjoy talking to people, and they finish their day and they feel fulfilled. They don't even look at the clock. But for me, when I was 16, I was, when do I get out of here, right? So you can use time, that feeling about time, as a reference to a life being fulfilled, okay? Now that has to do with your career, right? And I talked about this in a previous video where I said time is money. And that's where people trade their time for money. You can also trade money for time, right? Like taking mini retirements. You hear about those where people save up money and they take mini retirements because they want time back to do something fulfilling. They don't feel fulfilled in their current role, so they take a mini retirement. They take the money and go buy some more time, okay? But there are people in careers where they don't feel like they're trading time for money, right? They feel like they don't have enough time to get the job done because they love it so much, right? And you see this with entrepreneurs, like business owners and entrepreneurs, they never feel like they have enough time. There's always something else to do to improve their business because they're passionate about it. That's how it goes. And at the end of the day, they don't know where the time went. Time is their enemy, to be honest. That's most of the cases for entrepreneurs and business people. They're nonstop and they go till 1, 2, 3 in the morning because they can't get enough time. That's just the thing, man. Time's your enemy when you're pushing it, okay? So that has to do with your career and all that, And I hope that you can find a career where you feel fulfilled, right? Where you don't look at the clock, where you're like, you don't even know where the time went, right? And typically, like project-based careers, they're kind of like that because when you're working on a project, you're real busy and you're real focused, and that time just goes by like a snap, And then, if you do a good job and you're getting your work done and you're getting it done in a timely manner, you even feel really good about that, with project-based work. But not every job's like that, So you kind of have to work your mindset around any job. So if you're the cashier, you might want to take the approach of, oh, hey, I like working with the public. If you put yourself in that mindset, maybe you'll feel fulfilled with that job, Okay, but if you're not, go look for that next job that gives you that fulfillment, whatever it is. You know, could be driving Ubers. Maybe you like to drive around and talk to people. People feel fulfilled in different ways. It's not always about the money. You know, I talk about money a lot in this channel, but it's not always about the money. You want to feel fulfilled at the end of the day. You want to be able to reflect on your life and feel like, man, my life went by like that because I was fulfilled in life. I was busy. I was hungry. I loved all that stuff, right? So, you know, that's my advice to everyone, is try to figure that out. It's hard. It's not going to be easy. We could also circle back to family and friends as well. When you're with your family or your friends, I sure hope that you're not trying to let the time pass by real quickly. I hope you're enjoying your time with them and appreciating that time that you have with them, and you don't want it to end, right? You ever been at like maybe a wedding or a family get-together where, you know, like the sun starts going down and it starts getting dark, and you're kind of bummed. You're bummed that, man, that good time that we're having is over. You know why? Because it was fulfilling and you enjoyed your time with your friends, colleagues, and your family. So, you know, and if you can't find that, maybe you need to find new friends, right? If you feel like, oh man, I just don't want to even go to that party, right? I just want to leave. I want the time to go by. That's really not a fulfilling time. So I hope this helps everyone by trying to understand if they have a fulfilling life or not. Use time as a reference. You know, it's an interesting tool to use, and it's an interesting feeling you might have about things. So anyways, thanks for coming, guys. And if you could take a look at my previous video, and everyone, have a great day. Thanks.